Thanks for joining us again, everybody. Welcome back to SuperiorFandom.com. I'm Nate Joyner. Welcome my partner, Joe Holt.
What up?
Jarrett Young.
Hi.
And we've got a couple special guests in house again today. Friends of the show. We got Brandon Ozzie Osborne over here. Say hey, Brandon.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Or Ozzie, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Over here, Mike Gong's helping us out again. Friend of the show.
How's it going, America?
Boom.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We obviously are going to talk football because that's been the theme for the last few weeks.
We're going to get to talk basketball later. I'm excited about this.
Well, that's how I get Joe here.
Yeah,
I told him we're actually going to talk basketball, but he little does he know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
You're
kidding.
a liar.
No, we're going to talk it, I promise, buddy.
Well, few Raiders fans want to talk about football. So.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a very good point.
Leave.
It's a very good point. Well, we're going to start off with this. We've got...
Can we talk about the Sherm?
Yeah, we can talk about Shermanator.
Well, hold on. Before we start that,
Wes Welker?
I lost a bet to this prick sitting to my right now.
Yep.
I spent, I don't know how many hours at the bar this weekend wearing Seattle Seahawks gear.
Yeah.
And it was of
6
my
hours.
own doing. It was rough. It was very bad.
I saw the pain, and it felt good.
I was very humbled. I was very, very humbled.
You even offered for me to punch you in the face to get out of the bet.
I did. And I would have
Gladly taken
taken it. I should have taken it. But he said he would rather see me in Seattle gear than him punch me in the face. He would feel too bad about that.
Did you have to wear a stranger's beanie?
Oh, no.
It was brand new.
Oh, it was a brand new stranger.
It was brand new.
I
Can you
got it in my
elaborate on that,
backpack right now.
Oh, fuck you.
Ozzie, go ahead and elaborate.
I got the beanie in my backpack right now. I told you I was going to leave and go get breakfast and visualize the win. But what I did is I ran down to Santee Alley and combed every little shady sports stop and said, "Do you guys got any Seattle gear?" And they're like,
What an asshole.
they go, "All we have is keychains and license plate covers and a few they had little paper plates, for parties that had Seahawks on them. I'm like, this isn't good. And on the last one, I go, "Do you have any Seahawks gear?" And he goes, only this. And it was a Seahawks beanie that's obviously ripped off and not real at all with a little ball on top. And
It was the thickest hot... First of all, it was like 110 degrees in Los Angeles yesterday. And he comes
January.
in...
What do you expect?
Exactly. And he comes in with the thickest, most sweaty fucking beanie I could ever possible... My head would have sweat if we were in
Seattle.
Exactly.
He goes, $15. I'm like, "Sir, I don't care if it's $100. Give me that fucking beanie."
Do you think we could get Nate a lanyard? I just want Nate to have a lanyard.
They
real
offered.
bad.
I think a lanyard came free, but I was so excited I just ran out of the store.
What are we in Girl Scouts here?
That's ridiculous.
In
What
fact,
are we
we
talking
are.
about right now?
Hey! But to be fair, for Nate being a good sport about it, I bought him a Dodgers bar key, which is
Boom.
pretty
Holding
awesome.
it in Joe's face as we
Hey, all right.
speak. Los Angeles Dodgers.
Don't cheer that. Don't encourage him. Quit banging the fucking table.
Yeah.
You're screwing up our pro audio
I
setup.
know. Anyways, all right. We
Digress. We've gone on a tangent.
So the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. How
Absolutely.
fucking bad, Nate?
It's, I'm sitting between a Seahawks fan and a 49ers fan, and that game was ridiculous. Let's talk about Sherman for a little bit.
You want to start with Sherman?
Should we start with Sherman or should we finish with Sherman?
I say we finish with Sherman because I have some things to say about him, and they're not defensive things, but a little bit. I don't know.
How about we pay all homage to the second best coach currently active in the NFL, Pete Carroll,
Jesus.
making a Super Bowl
Nice.
and having the road to MetLife Stadium, go straight through Seattle, and making just enough plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Are you on Are you on his payroll? Is that like you? He loves giving him reach arounds. Like he loves him to Pete Carroll. It's incredible.
I'll jump in and talk.
He doesn't like the Seahawks.
It's just the
Pete
league.
Carroll.
If
Sorry.
dreams came true, I would be on Pete Carroll's payroll.
Fair enough.
If dreams came true.
Yeah.
If dreams came true, you'd be on Pete Carroll's. No, I'm not gonna
Johnson.
say-
Ozzie, leave me alone. You're cut off, Ozzie.
This isn't a family program.
No. I don't even let my daughter listen to this.
No.
And she's 4. I guess she shouldn't listen to it anyway, really.
Well, she probably knows more about sports than we do anyway. So. But I'll talk about Pete Carroll a little bit. I mean, he's an
Why
awesome
don't you
coach.
talk about it now, Ozzie? Like, what? You got something to do for the next 10 minutes?
What?
You got something to do for the next 10 minutes?
He's trying to throw you under the bus, Ozzie. That's what's happening.
You could talk about Pete Carroll right now.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Awkward. Just talk. Just go, Ozzie. Go.
I was just gonna say that he's coached a great team. He gave his faith into Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is 17-1 at home in his second year
That's
as a
sick,
quarterback,
I know.
and he's got a great head on his shoulder. In the inverse, Richard Sherman is kind of a dick, but
Guys, I think
But if you look at Russell Wilson, the way he's been coached and how he's a student of the game and how Carroll's got that whole team fired up and how well they played all season long, I think Denver's got something to worry about.
Pete Carroll is. I know I'm not a Pete Carroll. Everyone knows I'm not a Pete Carroll fan.
He's a rah-rah.
But he's a rah-rah coach. He's the biggest cheerleader on the sideline. He should be wearing a skirt. But
Don't tell me you wouldn't play for him.
at the same time, exactly. Like, I think he's a phenomenal coach. Obviously he's a player's coach. Players love him. I'm not quite sure how he lets allows his players to make complete asses of themselves and asses of the city that they represent, like Richard Sherman did. And it's not the first fucking time. It's not the first time it's happened. Like they had a huge win. That was a huge win. Sorry, Mike. That was like that game yesterday was a sick game. It was ridiculous.
I agree. It was
Seattle pulls it out, and then Sherman decides to just shit on everybody.
Yeah, and we keep going back to Sherman because that's what everybody's talking about, but I don't think everybody knows that he's been a dick like that for a while.
Yeah, but it's not the exact. Absolutely.
It didn't surprise me. It embarrasses me as a Seattle fan, but if you look at what we're talking about is the game against the 49ers, and I think the 49ers made some legitimate mistakes to lose that game. We could have lost that game.
Yeah.
Starting with the last play of the game when Richard Sherman tapped that out, they should have called a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Vernon Davis should have ran out of bounds, and they should have regrouped, and they could have had 2 more plays, but they faded right into the end zone into Richard Sherman, and he made the play.
Which was just incredible. Yeah.
My thing is, Sherman or not, like what I'd like to discuss here is the fact that the Seattle defense made just enough plays to get by. Regardless of how they did it, they made just enough plays to get by. And to go against a team that's been defensively strong all season in the Niners and to force those mistakes on the offensive side of the ball, that's what championship teams do.
You're right. I agree with you.
And they took advantage of the 12th man in the 108, 109, 110 decibel level, whatever it was. And they did what they could. And the one guy that doesn't get enough credit, even though he didn't have the biggest game of his season, but he did break a huge play to really turn the tide in this game, is Marshawn Lynch. And at this point in time,
That was a beautiful
Marshawn Lynch,
it was ridiculous.
Marshawn Lynch kind of has to be on the short list for best running backs in all of the NFL at this point. Correct or incorrect?
Absolutely correct. 100%. I think we would all probably agree with that.
That run was nothing short of beautiful. Like you couldn't write that into a football movie, you know, like.
Yeah, it was Marshawn Lynch is.
He's a beast. It takes more than two guys to take him down anywhere. Like even if he's running through the line, like guys have to jump on his back to bring him down.
And you see him carry packs with him. You see like he'll carry 6 guys for a first down.
Yeah, and then
like
all of a sudden he'll break, and it's like, how did he get out of that?
How did he not get tackled? No, the guy's ridiculous.
Now going back to Richard Sherman and kind of touching on some of the BS that surrounds him and some of the BS that's kind of around his team because of it. Unfortunately, like how did Richard Sherman get enrolled into Stanford? Like, can you explain that to me?
He was second in his class.
He's supposed to be really smart, I would imagine, but
he's really
I agree with you.
When in the fuck did that ever happen?
Either he, I don't know. Apparently, he has really bad advisors because you're right. He played at Stanford, and anybody who goes to Stanford, he's a receiver at Stanford. Yes. Stanford's not an easy school to get into, and if he is as smart as he's supposed to be, all that means is that his handlers, his advisors, are not as smart as him because they're just letting him fucking run at the mouth way too much.
Look how much attention he's getting. It's kind of like Hollywood, like bad press is good press, whatever. Like he's bringing attention to himself and he's setting himself up for all sorts of endorsement deals or whatever he wants. Who cares? But he's a good player. He backs it up.
He's a sick player. I agree with you. He's a ridiculous cornerback. But I mean, it's the guy's. I don't know. He's a prick. What do you got, Joe?
How much of that goes back to Jim Harbaugh being the one that recruited him at Stanford? Do you think that had any part of that? Because like Jim Harbaugh and him, like although coming from different sides of the rope, and Mike, maybe you could chime in on this, but like, I mean, don't they seem like kind of the same sort of asshole?
I have to agree with you. That's incredible. Sorry, Mike, what do you got?
Man, honestly, I can see your point and where you come from with that. I think there's 2 different modes of asshole that are there, and they're coexistent. But I don't know if they're I don't know if they're from the same mold. If that's what you're asking.
Well, I don't know. I think Harbaugh is just a complete nutbag, and his head comes close to exploding just about every play. Sherman, I think, is a devious prick. I think he just likes. I was talking to Ozzie earlier about it as well. It's the play last year after they beat the Patriots.
You mad, bro?
Yeah, and Tom Brady's trying to leave the field, and Sherman decides that he just has to cross the field and get in Tom Brady's face and say, "Hey, you mad, bro? Yo, you mad, bro?" And just like as Tom Brady's trying to leave. I mean, come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you just won this game, fucker. Go to your locker room, celebrate with your fans. Like
I don't like that either. But I think, excuse me, I think he gets fired up about wins, and he did that interview after he made the game-winning play, pretty much. It's like, and him and Crabtree have hated each other since Crabtree played in Arizona or whatever. Like they never liked each other. So.
All right, well, let's talk about some Denver.
Look, Seattle, great team. Pete Carroll, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Trojans in the north, I'm with you.
Seattle's sick. Seattle, you guys.
But in 13 days,
Nope.
y'all got a fucking mission you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
And that mission is Peyton Manning.
Not gonna happen.
And let me just tell you, he put on, and this. I mean, y'all can argue with this if you want, but like, this really isn't up for argument. Peyton Manning put on probably the most efficient, unheralded display of control and like orchestrating an offense that I've seen from the quarterback position in the last decade. And he did it against a well-coached New England team that did everything they could do, as good as they could do. And I just got to give it to him. I don't know, Jared, what do you got, man?
Obviously, Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning, but look at his front line.
His
All day.
His
And
offensive
all day.
line has all year long. Denver's defense all year has been obviously suspect, but his O line has been the best.
I don't think
NFL.
New England could even like
Did he
blow a fucking hair off Peyton.
Did Peyton get sacked this year?
No, not
I
blow out this year.
don't know.
If he did, they let him down really gently. They're like, here, I'm sorry,
They
Hall of
rested him to
Famer.
the turf.
Nestled him in the cradle of the grass.
I don't want to be the one that hurts the great Peyton Manning. Same with Tom Brady. Did you see Tom Brady when he ran into the end zone for touchdown? That guy shirked that
amazing.
tackle. He's like, I'm not going to hurt him. Just
Dude,
score.
you hit him. I don't know. Oh, shit. What's that?
Let me tell you something.
When
The
legends
easiest
collide.
job of the entire NFL all season had to be the Denver Broncos equipment manager cleaning up after fucking Peyton Manning. It didn't have to happen all year. And with those 3 and 4 step drops that they were doing against New England,
No Tide commercials.
I just don't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, as big of a Pete Carroll guy as I am, like, you're not gonna be able to get to him. You're just not gonna be able to do it. And
You know
it's-
what? I would like to interject on that.
Go ahead,
well,
Ozzie.
the Seahawks are a young enough team and a stupid enough team to blitz the hell out of Peyton Manning and blow him up. And they're going to run stunts on that offensive line. They haven't played that hard of a team. They're in the AFC, and how many AFC teams actually gave Peyton Manning a challenge? And the best defense in the NFC is going to go, yo, Peyton, we don't give a shit if you're going to the Hall of Fame. We're going to kick the shit out of you.
You're not gonna be able to knock him down within 2 seconds. And
You're
he's
not.
gonna get the ball, and
You're
that's
not.
all there is to
He's
it.
had a quicker release this year than his entire career. I mean, like his release is as quick as it was when he was playing for Tennessee. For God's sakes, he's gotten the ball out of his hands.
Indianapolis.
No, Tennessee.
College.
He was a volunteer,
Oh
my friend.
shit!
Yeah,
I
he's
understand.
Tennessee.
He was a
I was not paying attention.
He's a volunteer, my
I
friend.
beg your pardon.
Like his release and his presence in the pocket this year has been fucking spot on. It's been better than it's ever been. I mean, like, and I've talked about it before. He's had more weapons this year than he's ever had in his entire career. So it's incredible. Like what?
How much of that credit do you give to Todd Helton?
Fuck that.
You said it right there.
Down
about
goes
just having-
Helton.
The fact that you got Wes Welker going over the middle, and that's the cat you can throw to it.
No,
you have one option.
Briefly.
None of that works out. You always got Wes Welker.
Colorado Rockies lifelong first baseman Todd Helton was the quarterback at University of
He
Tennessee.
was.
And gave
He
Peyton
was.
Pre
shot.
Peyton Manning.
And
For those that don't know, now you
there's
know.
a reason that Todd Helton played baseball because he wasn't a very good quarterback at Tennessee.
I thought it was.
He actually stepped down. He's like, that guy's better
That
than
guy's
me.
a lot better.
I thought he played baseball so that Peyton Manning would have a place to go for batting practice when he
so
got
there
bored.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's something I really wanted to say earlier, and Joe just squashed me on it.
No,
Oh, you lost a bet. That's what we wanted to know.
Well,
No, we already talked about
covered
that.
We covered that.
I just think Denver's gonna roll on Seattle. Sorry.
See,
I don't think it's
so.
gonna. It's not going to roll. I don't think they're going to roll.
There-
I have a feeling though that it's going to be.
You
I mean, this is Peyton Manning's year. Peyton Manning has it's a magical year. I really think he's going to be the first quarterback in history to win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. I really do. Like I just someone's got to do it at some point, and who else? Who better than fucking Peyton Manning, Mr. Football?
especially after a record-setting season.
Yeah,
And
I mean he broke every fucking record this year. Like it's ridiculous. He broke all I care about is he broke Drew Brees' record, and that angers me. What a prick.
I would be heartbroken if he did beat my Seahawks, but I would have to bow down to him and be like,
It's-
man, the man's a legend.
Yeah.
You know?
Steve Watson would be really happy to have Peyton Manning be doing as good as he is. But before we put a wrap on this football stuff and move on to more important things like basketball,
Jesus.
we should have been talking about since the beginning of time, I got to ask our resident 49er fan here, Mike, what he thinks about the reports of the Seattle fans throwing popcorn and shit at Navarro Bowman. Like, do you think that's just fuel for the rivalry, or do you have anything to add to this?
That's obvious fuel. I mean, no matter what side you're on, I think when there's an injury sustained, you try to have a little bit more respect, and that's not a slight towards Seahawks fans, but you'd hope that there'd be
but it is. Like, it should be. Like, that's just, it's terrible.
I just have an umbrella over me right now from the loss, and so I don't want to say anything too extreme. But I want to make sure that my words are sensitive to all sides.
Don't be sensitive. Fucking just tear it down. Tear it down. This is superior fandom, goddamn.
No, this is true. You'd hope for more on any side of it, but being a big fan of Navarro, it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? But that was one fan out of many, and I'm sure, like me as a Seahawks fan, I looked at that and I thought that was disgusting.
And there's so many things.
There's
that Niner
always a
fans do
dipshit.
on the
I mean, there's a
opposite
lot
side,
of people out there, and it only takes one person to fuck everything up.
It's entirely true. I agree.
Well, what's up, brother?
I think that's all the time we have for football. We're going to close this one off, record another one, start talking about basketball for all of yous.
Well,
catch us next time, superiorfandom.com.
We love you guys. Follow us on Facebook.
Thanks for having me.
Follow us on Twitter. I promise we will soon have a actual picture, not an egg on Twitter.
We
follow us.
We fixed that.
Oh, do we fix it?
Pictures.
Oh, look
It's
at that.
him. Jared did it.
Jared, yeah, perfect. Anyways, thanks,
Hell
guys.
And
Yeah.
YouTube. Don't forget about that shit.
And YouTube. Oh, and we fixed the YouTube channel. Boom.
Superiorfandom.com, motherfuckers.